Hey there guys, FuryTomic here, and today's video is going to be a, well, review type of video, first impressions. And so today's ship will be the Irian. You might be wondering, what is the Irian? Irian, as most of you guys may know, is a Tier 8 Pan-Asian cruiser. Now, this cruiser in fact is actually a Kutuzov, but there are some changes that are different from Kutuzov. Some, for example, will be consumables, the range, the torpedoes, and all that other fun stuff. But let's kind of jump a little bit into the consumables. Irian here has 3 consumables, but one of them is her main gimmick. The gimmick of this is Torpedo Reload Booster. And I have to say, this is actually quite an interesting but reliable little thing of a majigger for Irian. We also have Hydro and DCP. We also have deep water torpedoes, and these deep water torpedoes are 13.5 kilometers. Very interesting, isn't it? This is a little different compared to most other cruisers, but in general, this honestly seems a bit more fitting for a Pan-Asian ship. And so, the way how I kind of play Irian is a little different from Kutuzov. Kutuzov, to my knowledge, because I don't have her, I've seen most of the Kutuzov players in my games that usually go in, smoke up, shoot, spam, and then repeat. Believe that Kutuzov has 19 kilometers of range. There's the Izamo going, Irian! I think he recognizes, oh, it's a test ship. Anyways, we also have a range of 17.5 kilometers. And to my knowledge too, that is 2 less kilometers than the Kutuzov. But I honestly enjoy her. Not just because, oh, she's another Kutuzov and all that such, but just the way how she really plays just makes me enjoy having fun with Irian. And so, in this game, we just got up tiered to tier 9s. Well, it's actually somewhat fair. It's a mix of tier 8s and tier 9s. 1 tier 7s from each team. And so, whoa, we just got set on fire very quickly. But we also have torpedo bombers spotting us. Not fun. But her AA is probably not the best. It can work, just not, of course, be super dependent upon. Well, what I'm doing here is trying to see if I can get some shots off on any of the targets out there. And well, we have a Tirpitz here, and we're gonna launch some torpedoes off onto him. Mind you, these are the deep water torpedoes that go up to 13.5 kilometers. And they are pretty much like Yang torpedoes, slapped onto a non-smoke Kutuzov. Looks like we have a Miyoko coming around the corner. Take some shots there. We got some hits. There he is. That looks to be another hit. And we have a Tirpitz coming up. And it looks like that the torpedoes may actually hit him. But honestly though, I really do enjoy playing the Irian. Not just because of all these deep water torpedoes and all such, but just the way how you can be a risk and reward ship. Oh, and speak of the devil, look at the Tirpitz. Takes 1, 2, and he took 3 torpedoes. But some of you guys might think, well, isn't this ship pretty much like OP in a way? The thing though is that it really isn't. I mean, well, it can be OP depending on how you play her, but just in general of how you play cruisers really depends. She is really good though, in my opinion, at like mid to far range. You can go ahead and shoot and farm all that such, and we just got a kill on that Tirpitz over down there. Safe one. Got 3 torpedo hits on. Well, yeah. But the thing also that I find about Irian is her HE shells. Pretty much for like Russian ships, let's say they're on average. And kind of, you know, typical of what it can do. But since my knowledge that her HE isn't going to deal much, I placed IFHE on the ship, well, for my commander, just so I can inflict some extra damage that Irian could cause. Now that kind of varies between depending on how many guns you have aimed and how much, you know, actually hits. And where it hits too on the ship. Holy jeez, I just got 4 fires. Just kind of tells you something about Russian imported ships. Oh my goodness, 5 fires. Oh, and hello there, Musashi. But yeah. That being said, ooh, torpedoes. That's not fun. Some of the other pros that I really do enjoy about Irian is also kind of just the way she can somewhat maneuver. But that's just me, though. But other than that, just kind of what I mentioned, which is the guns, the torpedoes, which is kind of the main gimmick for her. Ooh, got a fire on the Z-46. And so it's just one of those ships that I just really like. The 17.5 kilometers though is pretty fair instead of 19 kilometers, because otherwise you'd have a pretty broken ship. A pretty broken mini Kutuzov premium. But the deep waters though is kind of like the main gimmick of Irian, because think about it this way. You don't have a cruiser that can fire 13.5 kilometer torps. I think the highest is by Zhao with 12 kilometers, to my knowledge. But this kind of makes it one of the first few ships with 13.5 kilometers. And pretty much tier 10 torpedoes at a very lower tier, like tier 8. Though, you might kind of think, oh, but still, it's OP. Because you also have this ship being pretty much paper armor. Paper armor ships aren't really going to be fun against battleships and cruisers with AP. Anyways, just to demonstrate a good example of Irian with IFHE, we have a Fletcher sitting in the smoke here. He knows that I'm coming, but he doesn't know where. And so, take the first few shots. 5,000 damage knocked off from Fletcher. Mind you though, this is with IFHE, not base. And down to what? 216 health. Shots. Well, our secondary finishes her off. And we also dodge these torps. But this is it's a pretty fragile ship in general though. Nothing in my opinion should really be like buffed or nerfed from this. It's honestly good as it is. Good risk and reward plays. Rewards you, you know, good amount of damage and kills. But you also have to keep in mind too about who you are shooting against. Because of course, whoever you're shooting against, they could probably blap you out of the game. Just in one moment, just say hi, and then knock you out. Bye-bye. But 110k to 110k damage already at this point in the game. Most of the games that I have in Irian, they're somewhat similar to this game here that I have recorded, but there are also occasions where I get deleted right immediately because either I push up too much, I get caught while I'm trying to kite away, and all that other fun stuff. But we have Taiho, Hipper, and Z46 left on their other team. And to my knowledge, the Hipper and Z46 are at B area. So I'm thinking about going ahead and going over to A. Well, of course, I get spotted by fighter planes. And we have a hipper in sight. But except I don't want to fire my torpedoes because fighters can still spot your torps in this current version still of the game. We managed to shoot down one plane, but you know, that's also kind of tells you about the AA, about Irian. Not too great, but you can at least still shoot something. So we fired some torps that will hopefully maybe hit the hipper, but who knows. And I have an odd feeling that Z46 will be close by, so in a short moment we will be popping Hydro. Oh, speaking of devil, he actually just appeared. 3.5 kilometers away. I'll just pop ahead and go with Hydro just in case. But, you know, priorities. Do I shoot at the hipper or do I shoot at the Z46? At this point I just figured, I'll finish out the Z46 at least since he's right here and he's a DD. I don't want our Musashi to go ahead and suffer with a DD that can potentially kill him. We knock the Z46 down and we are gonna go ahead and confirm that kill. Of course, we're on the non-so-bright side, we're gonna beach. And we took the big citadel. There's this ship's paper, and we die. It kind of does tell you about Irian in general. Look at it this way. Even though the ship is pretty strong, this ship is very squishy. In general, I think this honestly makes the ship fair. In exchange for not having smoke, which probably the devs maybe thought of, but I highly doubt it. And instead, for the Pan-Asians, you get the deep water torpedoes. You have 13.5 kilometers. You'll have a reduced range compared to Kutuzov. Mind you, I'm comparing this to the Kutuzov of 17.5 kilometer range. And just any about that. You also have pretty bad AA, paper armor, you know, that kind of fun stuff. But that is my first impressions of the Irian in general. Personally though, on my list, what do I think of her? I honestly think she, like I mentioned here and also in the game, that she is a risk and reward ship that can be played kind of like mid-range. Kind of, you know, keep your distance between ships, and so that way you have a chance to go ahead and kite out. But who knows? Maybe you might probably make this into some extremely memey way of playing Irian. But that's just what I think of her so far. But I'm really enjoying the fact that there's also, you know, more Pan-Asian related ships coming out. And this one will probably be mine to go to if they keep everything, you know, if they keep everything of the stats the same. But who knows if Wargaming might have to go ahead and buff or nerf some things. I'm pretty sure probably they're gonna nerf something about the Irian. Do keep in mind that everything mentioned in this video is subject to change. This ship is still in testings and work in progress, so everything's not final just yet. But we shall see. This ship might go through another iteration test based on the feedback, or may probably go for final. But that is completely up to Wargaming to decide on what they feel about the ship and if it's ready to be released. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this first impression video of the Irian. Thank you guys for all tuning in. I am FuryTomic. I'll see you guys all later.